Hey everybody, Casey here with Life Abstract Gaming, and this week I'd like to give my impressions on the brand new Netflix series, Disenchantment.
Your presence is requested at the royal wedding of Prince Giesbert of Bentwood and Princess Bean.
Do you take this man to be your husband? No!
Oh my god. This is a bad time to be coming down off of that high.
So how'd it go?
I want to be in charge of my own destiny.
I want to see the outside world.
I want to
Get rid of all the diseases plaguing mankind and replace them with worse ones.
Bean, you're out of control. I don't even know what to yell at you.
I'm not so bad.
Well, you did kill that one guy.
I'd be fine if someone could just slide my head up a bit.
Isn't there a point in everyone's life where they need to go and figure out who they are? Whew, I'm a good butcher.
This is a pet shop.
If this show looks familiar, it's not in your head. It's because it's the newest work from one of the most prominent creators in animation, period, Matt Groening. He's the creator of The Simpsons, a show so critically acclaimed it has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, as well as the Guinness World Record for the longest-running American television series. He's also the creator of Futurama, another critically acclaimed animated series that didn't get as much love in terms of run length, but is probably my favorite adult animated series ever. Disenchantment is Groening's brand new show on Netflix that follows a teenage princess named Bean, her grumpy father King Zog, and her two strange companions, an elf named Elfo and the demon Lucy. She routinely pisses off her dad, gets pissed drunk, and has a pissy attitude about not being free to do whatever she likes, as so many princesses are known to do. Aside from the art style, you can actually see parallels between Disenchantment and Futurama specifically. In most cases, I try to look at media that isn't a direct sequel or prequel to something else without the bias of other good or bad works from a shared creator. So while I would judge a movie like John Wick 2 with the lens that John Wick 1 also exists, I try not to condemn every future Michael Bay movie because of the tragedy that is the Transformers series. I said I'd try. I'd hope to give Disenchantment a fair chance without too many preconceived expectations, but the show doesn't seem to care about repeating a formula that worked to great effect in Futurama, so I personally can't ignore the similarities. You have a headstrong woman who's the leader of the trio, a lovable doofus in a new and strange place, and a charismatic but selfish degenerate. Though Billy West and John DiMaggio return as voice actors in the show, they are no longer the main characters, and early on I felt like their talent was being wasted. The first two episodes only seemed to remind me that Futurama was done, and these new characters that I didn't know were weak replacements for it. I wanted to like Bean, but her acting out seemed excessive, and her moral compass is all over the place. There are instances where I questioned if this kid was even supposed to be seen as a good person or not. Elfo I found to be mostly annoying and unfunny, not to mention his really ugly character design. And Lucy seemed to be trying too hard to be edgy. He'd actively sabotage the other characters in ways that made me not even want him around. But King Zog was the worst. He was unfunny, unlikable, and his motivations were completely unclear to me. So I was very surprised at how my initial feelings about the characters and show overall changed by the end of the season. As soon as episode 3 hit, jokes started to land and the quirky hilarities of the fantasy setting were starting to come alive.
Oh my. I get that a lot.
The dynamic of the three leads was beginning to mesh a lot better with me, and by the end of the season, actual explanations are given for why most of the main cast have the issues that they do, and they're incredibly compelling. The actual story starts to reveal itself as less a collection of misadventures and more of a large, well thought out narrative filled with mystery. The last two episodes provide genuine heartfelt moments, shocks, and twists that have me excited for a second season. The stark contrast in quality from the beginning of the season versus the end is a really good metaphor for the series overall. In several ways, I found both good and bad in the show. The animation, for example, has some really good looking background designs, but there were several instances where actual characters just looked lazily thrown together. But the characters' personalities exemplified this the most. I've come to like Bean much more, but she's not really a good person. There may be reasons for it, but she's in no way a one-dimensional character. Lucy also becomes a lot more endearing, and Elfo gets some interesting development of his own that I won't spoil for you. I should also mention that a lot of the side characters start to become much more entertaining, to the point where they even start to steal scenes from some of the main cast. I'm looking at Chaz specifically.
Hey, welcome to the spa. I'm Chaz. I'll be doing all your body butters and light touching.
What are these clamps for?
To hold you down while I talk to you.
What started out as a rough Futurama clone eventually develops its own identity, but still keeps a lot of the characteristics that made Futurama such a favorite of mine. If Disenchantment can keep up the quality it reached by the end of its first season, I'm positive it'll have millions of people under its spell. So, have any of you watched Disenchantment? Did you love it? Hate it? Something in between? Let us know. We're listening.